During the past couple of years, there has been a heated debate whether nuclear energy is sustainable, in part because of radioactive waste, nuclear weapon proliferation, and accidents caused by nuclear reactors.
During the first half of the 20th century, much of the modern physics was devoted to exploring this phenomenon.
Nuclear radiation originates in the atomic nucleus, where protons repel each other because of their equally positive charges. This is the part where a phenomenon known as strong nuclear force comes in. This force is strong enough that it overcomes the repulsive force between the positively charged protons. However, certain isotopes, atoms which in their nucleus contain the same number of protons but a different number of neutrons, remain unstable. In order to shift to a more stable configuration, the nucleus wants to give up some energy, known as nuclear radiation.
Radiation is the energy or particles that are released during radioactive decay. Radioactivity of a material refers to the rate at which radiation is emitted. As the nucleus emits radiation or disintegrates, the radioactive atom transforms to a different nuclide. This process is called radioactive decay. It will continue until the forces in the nucleus are balanced.
The terms that first come to our mind when we talk about radiation or radioactivity are Chernobyl, Fukushima, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki. Atoms in our DNA can be fundamentally altered by the process of ionization, which can cause an error in our genetic code.
Types of ionizing radiation include alpha particles, beta particles, gamma rays, and X-rays.
When a lot of ionizing radiation hits us in a short time period, acute exposure appears. It overwhelms body's natural ability to repair damage, which can trigger cellular dysfunction, cancers, and even death.
By the end of 1945, the bombing has killed approximately 140,000 people in Hiroshima and approximately 74,000 people in Nagasaki. It takes around 10 seconds for the fireball from a nuclear explosion to reach its maximum size, but the effects last for decades and span across generations.
The accident in 1986 at the Chernobyl nuclear power station in the Soviet Union is the worst disaster in the history. Between 50 and 185 million carriers of radioactive forms of chemical elements escaped into the atmosphere, several times more radioactivity than that created by atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
To start, not all radiation is hazardous. Every day, people inhale and ingest radiation from water, air, and food. Much of that radiation is non-ionizing, and our exposures to ionizing radiations are very low.
Today, radiation has many applications, such as nuclear power plants, uses in geology and archaeology, industrial uses, and many more. It has found its application even in medicine.
The most common of these medical procedures include the use of X-rays, a type of radiation that can pass through our skin.
X-rays and other forms of radiation also have a variety of therapeutic uses. When used in this way, they are most often intended to kill cancerous tissue, reduce the size of a tumor, or reduce pain. For example, radioactive iodine, specifically iodine 131, is frequently used to treat thyroid cancer. We should break the stigma about radiation and radioactivity. So far, it has saved many more lives than it has taken, and the latter was a consequence of human carelessness. Compared to alcohol and cigarettes, it is far less harmful.